Mr. Arnold here. In the last video, we talked about how to solve percent problems by translating them into algebraic equations. In this video, we'll talk about how to solve similar percent problems by using a proportion. If you notice, to your left is a proportion involving, with the percent sign, we have percent over 100 equal to is over of. We will use this standard proportion to solve all of the problems in this video. Note, you do not have to change your percent into a decimal if you use a proportion. You just plug in the percent if given as is. So let's look at the first example. What is 68% of 450? So we have our standard proportion over here. Let's plug in what we're given. In place of the percent sign, plug in 68. Where does the 450 go on the other side? Well, since it is behind the keyword of, we plug in 450 in place of. The is part is what we're looking for. What is? So that is our unknown and where we plug in our variable. Now everything is in the right place, so we cross multiply. So we have 100n equal to 450 times 68. And multiplying carefully, we get 30,600 on that side. Now at this stage, we need to divide. Question is, divide both sides by what number? Right, divide both sides by 100. You don't need to show any work here because you can, on the right hand side, cancel out the common zeros. So therefore our final answer is n equal to 306. So again, if you use a proportion and you are given the percent, you do not have to change it into a decimal. Just plug in the percentage as is. All right, let's look at the next problem. And give me just a second. Let me copy and paste our formula. To help us with the next example. There we go. Number 2, 12% of what number is 39? So again, if we use a proportion, this is our general formula. Now you may recognize this same proportion with terminology using words such as base and rate, but I use is and of so we can easily identify our given information. All right, so let's plug in what we're given. In place of the percent sign, plug in 12. Now we need to figure out which is the unknown, the is or the of. Well, is 39. So in place of is, plug in your 39. And we don't know of, that's what we're looking for. So replace that with any variable of your choice. Next step, cross multiply. So we have 12n equal to 100 times 39, which will give us 3,900 on that side. All right, the last step in solving a proportion is to divide. In this case, we need to divide both sides by 12. Okay, so off to the side here, let's divide. And just dividing carefully along the way. So we have our final answer, 325. Again, if you're given the percent, just plug it into the proportion as is. You do not have to change it into a decimal here. All right, let's look at the next problem. And again, let me copy and paste our formula or proportion. Number 3, 204.8 is what percent of 320? Well, this one is a little different because the percent is unknown. So right away we know where to plug in our letter in place of the percent sign. The 204.8 goes up top, and the 320 belongs in place of. All right, now we're ready to cross multiply. So we have 320n equal to 204.8 times 100. On the right-hand side, all you have to do quite simply is move the decimal point 2 places to the right. So we end up with 20,480 on that side. Now the last step, of course, y'all know, is to divide. So we need to divide both sides by 320. And off to the side here, let's divide. Again, dividing carefully along the way. Bring down your 0. And to finish it, this will go 4 times exactly. So our final answer is n equal to 64%. Notice you did not have to perform an extra step and convert your answer to a percent like we did before. All right, let's look at the last example. And I will paste our formula while you read the problem. Number 4, it says 17% of what number is 36? And we need to round our final answer to the nearest whole number. All right, so the first step is plug in our given information. In place of the percent sign, plug in 17. So we have 17 over 100 equal to, now where would the 36 go? Where would you plug it in? Right, the 36 is beside the is, so it goes on top. And in place of, plug in our unknown variable. Now we plugged in everything correctly. The next step is cross multiply. So we have 17n equal to 36 times 100, or 36 or 3,600. Now again, as you are aware, the last step is to divide. In this case, divide both sides by 17. Okay, so off to the side, let's divide this out. And we'll just divide carefully along the way. Okay, we need to round our answer to the nearest whole number. That is where we currently are with that last one up there. So we need to add a 0 and drop it down and divide again. So that will go 7 times. And we can stop now and round our answer to the nearest whole number. So this would be approximately 212. So as you see from this video and the one prior, you can solve a percent problem several ways, either by translating it into an algebraic equation or by using a standard proportion and cross multiplying to get your answer. I hope this helps you. In the next video, we will look at some word problems involving percents. Thank you.